Hi babes, welcome back to my channel. It's me again. Oh my gosh, the price increase happened. We have so much to talk about. You guys, I was so busy today with work and meetings and then trying to deal with this. I had done a lot of the legwork before. A few days prior, I was collecting the old prices across the various currencies, and then Chanel, honey, okay, she just decided she's going to increase like strategically. You could tell that they were doing it website by website. It was quite stressful. So in the morning before going to work, I did post something on my Instagram page as well. But anyway, let's start off now first with Australia. Hi guys, who are in Australia. Yeah, the Australian increases are not a joke. Like, they happened. I mean, my goodness, like, look how they increased the classics for the medium and the large. And salute to Vivian Vogue, because she's the one who had collected the Australian prices, and most people are sharing hers. I went on the Australian site, but I was too late yesterday. They had already taken off the prices of the classics. So salute to her. So these prices are from her page, but all the other prices I collected myself. Okay, so the medium slash large classic, it used to be 13,190 Australian dollars. It is now 13,850. I have to say, I think that's a cheeky increase. It's very, very, very cheeky. And I think it's quite slick for them to be quite cheeky like that. Like, that is a lot of money. That's a lot of money for a large classic flap from Big C. The small used to be 12,340 Australian. It's now 12,960. If you're from Australia, I'd love for you to just drop a comment and let us know, like, for 12,960 Australian dollars, like, what type of shopping can you do in other high-end brands in Australia in terms of pricing? I'd love to know, because I feel like that increase is very big for the classics, let alone. Yeah, and I have to say, I was just like, whoa, I think the increase with the classics for me is just like, for Australia, I feel like is very, very, very high. Okay, now let's go to my page. I did post this on my Instagram, so make sure you go follow my luxury Instagram. So I collected these prices for the UK and the EU pertaining to the Chanel 19, honey, because the Chanel 19 went up in price like no one's business. The MAXI used to be 590 euros. It's now 6,250. I could feel that they wanted the MAXI to be more than 6K, and the medium, which many people in the luxury community call the small, but it's actually the medium, because Chanel doesn't actually refer to it as the small. The small medium used to be 4,900 euros. It's now 5,200 euros. So it's gone up significantly as well. In this one Facebook group, I saw a bunch of people saying, oh, it's only gone up by like 300 euros. Guess what you can get for 300 euros if you add 90 extra euros? You can go to Big H and you can get yourself a really nice leather mini Kelly double toe bracelet with rose gold hardware, okay? I don't know why people are saying 300 euros is like nothing. 300 euros, and you can get quite a few bits and pieces. You can get quite a few bits that are high-end luxury stuff for 300 euros, 400 euros. So the pound prices were also very interesting. The old price of the MAXI was £5,070. It's now £5,250. And I felt like the old price for the small medium was £4,210. It's now £4,365. I thought that the increases for the Chanel 19 were very, very, very interesting. Don't forget, these increases only refer to the leather Chanel 19s. It absolutely doesn't refer to the tweed 19s, which I feel like they have increased, because I swear I was on the EU site and there was a tweed 19 that was 4,700 euros, and then I swear I looked today, it was like 5,000 euros, but no one's really talking about the tweed 19, so we'll talk about that another time. But this only refers to the leather one. So I think that these prices are very interesting. Now, at first glance, when you look at them, you're like, oh, they've only gone up by like, you know, £150, or it's only gone up by like 300, you know, pounds, or 300 euros. Like, that's not really a massive increase. You're right. It's not a massive increase, but I think this is so indicative of Big C's strategy, you know, that we've talked about so much, about getting rid of people who have to save. Like, think about it this way. The small Chanel 19, okay, used to be 4,000, the small medium used to be 4,900. If you were someone who was saving for the medium 19 in the EU, you're putting money aside, I know it sounds weird, but some people might just be like, whoa, I'm not going to spend more than 5,000 euros on a Chanel product. Some people just don't want to do that. And I think that those increases are very interesting. People who can afford these increases are not pressed over 300, 400 euro increases, because you know, if you can buy a medium Chanel 19 for 4,900 euros, you've probably got a lot of money in your account, and you're not like saving and saving. The people who have to save, and please don't be offended, okay? I work very hard for my money, and I know the value of my money, okay? So don't be offended. I hope I'm not offending anyone, but I do think that is what Big C has basically achieved with this increase. The increase in autumn was like a shock to the system for so many of us that love this brand, and it was like, whoa, oh my gosh, like they really like did a massive increase on the classics. And then this increase is just a smaller increase that isn't as, it's not like a massive jolt to the system, but at the same time it is relatively significant. So let me tell you where else we see the significance of this increase. For example, let's talk about the Canadian portion as well, because the prices in Canada also went up. So the small cocoa handle actually went up in Canada, so that's interesting. The small cocoa handle was 5,825 Canadian dollars. It's now 6,100 Canadian dollars. And the medium classic flap was 10,725 Canadian. It's now 11,050 Canadian dollars. And yeah, I mean, the prices did go up in Canada, and you know, those, particularly the cocoa handle price, that's a very interesting price increase in my opinion for the cocoa handle, like making it over 6,000. Sometimes it's not about the dollar amount per se, but it's about the range of which the bag is. So the MAXI Chanel 19 being more than 6,000 euros, that's really an indicator of many things. First of all, that tells us that the Chanel 19 is not going anywhere, honey. The Chanel 19 is one of the most expensive bags at the brand that is not a classic flap, that's not in the classic flap design. And the fact that they just want to, you know, they want this to be a worldwide thing, because what they don't want is they don't want people being like, okay, like I want to go shop here now because it's cheaper to buy a Chanel here than it is to buy in other places. Let's talk about the mini with the top handle. The mini with the top handle in the United Kingdom was £3,520 before the increase. It's now something like 3,000. I've actually written it on my blog, which is linked below, and it's on this Word document that I created, because I actually have all the prices here on my laptop on my Word document. And the minis have gone up. So let me just quickly double check. The mini with the top handle in the UK is now £3,650. Okay, so you can see that it's gone up significantly, and I can see here the mini with the top handle in the EU was 4,100 euros. It's now 4,350. I know you're like, okay, well, those prices aren't so bad. They're not bad, okay? But I feel like this is just very indicative of what Big C is doing, honey. If these price increases to you are not bad, that means you could afford to shop at this brand. If an extra $300, $400 is too much for you, and maybe you just think, okay, well, I don't want to do that, you know, then I think Chanel's really signaling that Chanel just wants people who are going to be able to withstand an extra $300, an extra $400. There is a theory that some people have said in groups as well, like, well, if you can buy a $5,000 or 5,000 euro handbag, you should be able to add an extra 300. I completely understand what people are saying. I just think it's so interesting that Chanel just had an increase in November, and then now they're doing an increase now. The collection launched today in Paris, the 22S. One of our Facebook group members graciously posted really cool pictures. You can go see those in the group. So make sure you go join the Facebook group. It's linked below. Just search for my name in Facebook and you'll see my Facebook page. Like my page, obviously, and then go join the group. It's attached to the page. But it was really interesting because one of our group members was saying in the group, like, the fact that the hearts were actually on display, but you couldn't actually purchase them in Paris on display because clearly they've already been allocated to clients. And I think that is so interesting that you couldn't purchase the display hearts, because you know Chanel, honey, she has no problem selling people display bags. People have talked about that all day, and now we're seeing a shift. You know, we're really seeing a shift. So I think that the increases have just been absolutely fascinating. Like I said, I have a ton of information about the increases in lots and lots and lots of currencies. So go check it out. It's all linked below. I'll have the increases in Australian on my website. Obviously pound, I was going to say EU, euro, Swiss franc as well, okay, and the Canadian dollar. So please make sure that you go check out my blog. It's linked below, because I know you probably don't want to hear my theories. Someone told me in one of my comments a few weeks ago, I'm always ranting and raving. I was like, well, I don't see them as rants, I see them as analysis and commentary, okay? And I hope you don't think that they're rants. But let me rant anyway. So my first theory of these price increases is, interestingly, the boy bag is being protected. The boy bag, honey, she is being defended, sweetheart. Now, I used to think that the boy bag should be discontinued. Like last year, I was like, maybe they should just discontinue the boy bag. It seems like the boy bag is kind of like fallen off, you know? I felt like the boy bag fell off, kind of. But I think I was wrong about the boy bag. I think I was completely wrong about the bag. I think that the bag actually looks really interesting now. And I feel like they know that people feel like the boy bag has fallen off. And I feel like that they have been kind of making changes to this bag. I think it was 21K, or I think it was 21K, there was that caramel boy bag. That rejuvenated a lot of interest in the bag because of the color. 22C, we saw this very cute, very glam mini boy bag, which I think that they called, you know, Chanel, they have names for their bags. Like, I think they called it the Boy Nude Mini or something. This bag was very, very, very interesting. This was in 22C, this was a mini bag. I think the leather was like a very smooth leather, very glossy kind of leather. This was interesting. I like this because it's completely smooth. And then, now here for 22S, we've got these really cute, very glossy, glam mini boy bags with these massive chevron lines. So I wanted to kind of give you my theory about the price increase. The boy bag went up. In all of the currencies where an increase happened, the boy bag went up. And interestingly, it actually went up significantly, considering the fact that the bag is not popular at the moment. It hasn't been popular for a few years. Like, you know, people really love the Coco handle. People can say what they want, but the Chanel 19, you know, the Chanel 19 has her defenders, honey, and we're going to defend the 19, honey. Like, we don't let anyone talk about the 19. Like, the mood of the brand for the boy bag has changed. You know, obviously, it was launched when Karl Lagerfeld was still alive, and, you know, it was one of his original designs. But I do feel like now there is a bit of a shift, and I feel like the house is trying to protect the boy bag, and I do think we can see that with this increase as well, because the fact that they've increased it, even though the bag is not as popular as it used to be, and they've created these new fun designs, that tells me that they want to protect the status of the boy bag as a classic at the brand. I think if they do refreshed things with the boy bag, I think we're going to see the boy bag continue to be successful. I'd love for them to think outside of the box. I'm really tired of seeing those like perfume minaudières that are like, you know, that are like 18,000 euros. The boy bag's structure, and because the whole point is that, you know, it was meant to look like a cartridge, right? The structure of the boy bag, I think actually lends itself to actually be a minaudière, you know, and to, you know, they can put their, you know, really ridiculous strass and pearls and all of those things. They could do all of that for the boy bag and make it a really cool evening bag. I feel like they need to do things like that to kind of like get people excited again and like re-energize people around the bag. I have to say, as someone who felt like the bag fell off, I was like, the bag fell off, like no one's checking for the bag anymore. After seeing these 22S mini boy bags, I'm very interested. And you know me, honey, like I am team big bags. I want big bags to be back fully. But I have to say, I think these mini ones are very cute. They're very fresh. They look modern. They look crisp and young and fun and glamorous. There's something very glam, particularly this pink mini boy bag. I think it just looks really cute. I think it's because of the bigger chevron line. So I like the changes I'm seeing. I feel like they're making small incremental changes, and then they decided to increase the price of the boy bag to see if people would still be interested with these new designs. I have to say, jury's out, but I think it's very, very, very interesting. This increase as well, the next part of my theory, I think this increase shows that the Chanel 19 has really cemented her position and her lineup in the house. Think of Chanel's bags like the World Cup. you know, so obviously football, okay. In a football team, you've got a captain, which is the classic flaps, you've got strikers, you have defenders, you have all these star players. Chanel 19 is one of the house's star players for their lineup, and I think that they've cemented that by increasing the prices. Even though the price increase isn't massive or anything, I mean, the fact that now, I think now it's like a medium Chanel 19 in the EU is 5,200. We're in that 5,000 euro category for the Chanel 19, which is a relatively new design. They really want to make sure that everyone knows that the Chanel 19 is now a classic at the brand. It's not going anywhere. It's not going to be discontinued. You know, we've all talked about this. I've said it. You guys have told me, just by virtue of the fact it was Karl Lagerfeld's last design, it's never going to be discontinued. It's just not going to happen. You know, Double V has her launch. The 22 has launched. We'll talk about that, I think, next week, because I want to kind of see if people are purchasing this bag. I know there are a few of you who've told me you've reserved this bag. I would love to hear from you once you get the bag to see how people are responding to it. You know, this is a big moment for Double V and for generally Big C in general. Like, you have to create designs that, you know, without, you know, jumping on Karl Lagerfeld's legacy at this point, because Karl Lagerfeld's put numbers on the scoreboard, okay? So the fact is like all of Karl Lagerfeld's designs, like let's put the boy back to the side for a second, but the trendy is still very popular, always sells out every collection that it's launched. The Coco handle is hugely popular, everyone loves that bag. And then, you know, for example, you know, the Chanel 19, you know, people love these bags and people, you know, want to see them. And Chanel are like, look, if you want to see these bags, we'll make them classics, we'll make them permanent, we won't discontinue them, but we want to kind of make sure that they maintain their value in the roster of all of the Chanel bags that are being created. Don't forget, you have other bags that are seasonal. So you have like the business affinity, which we see every now and then. You have those like shopping bags as well. You have the Deauville, which people really still like. People do like that bag, and people are always still like, you know, inquiring about the bag and stuff like that. So when it pertains to the Chanel 19, I'm not surprised to see these increases. I think that the Chanel 19 isn't going anywhere. Some of you, you know, we've talked about the Chanel 19, whether the Chanel 19 is a classic at the brand. The Chanel 19 is a new classic. I think that there is something such as new classics. Today in the group, one of you were talking about, should you buy a Fendi first or a Peekaboo? It was really interesting seeing that post. The Peekaboo was designed by Venturini. The Fendi first was designed by Kim Jones. Both are great, both are fab, but one is like a traditional classic. Like when you think of Fendi, you think of the baguette, you think of the Peekaboo. Those are like the traditional classics of the brand, right? But the Fendi First is a new classic. It's just vibrant and different, and it's just something different. They're both great, they're just different, and that's kind of how I see the Chanel 19 in reference to whether the Chanel 19 is a classic or not. And the bottom line is, Chanel will continue increasing the prices of the 19. If people continue buying the 19, that means, to me, at least from a commercial point of view, the bag is a classic. I think sometimes, like when it pertains to Chanel, we get kind of focused on this tunnel vision that the only way something can be a classic is if it has diamond quilts and the double C's and it's a flat bag. No, I don't think so. I think Chanel has a lot to offer, you know, and I think that there are lots of ways of seeing the 19. The 19 has cemented her place, honey. She is not going anywhere. Now, let's talk about what didn't happen. So the price increase, as of me filming this video, didn't happen in Singapore, and it didn't happen in the United States, which is really, really interesting. Now, a lot of you were like sending me messages like, oh my God, it didn't happen in America. Does it mean it's never happening? I don't believe it's never happening, honey. Chanel know what time it is. Big C know what time it is. They've got their ear to social media. They know that there are going to be some savvy people who are not going to buy the products in their country. They'll try and buy for America to save money and all of this, depending on how the currencies are doing. I think what's going to happen, this is my theory that I can't prove. There was a rumor in a lot of groups that it was going up on the 5th of March in the US. And that rumor sounds interesting and plausible. I mean, obviously today's the 3rd of March and today is a Thursday. So obviously the 5th of March is Saturday. So I'll check the website on Saturday as well. But what I think is more likely is that the day the collection launches in America, which is the 10th of March, they will increase the prices for the classics that day. That's what I think is going to happen. If it doesn't happen and you're in America, I'm happy to be wrong, honey. I am happy you have saved money, but I don't think the US is escaping this increase. I don't think Singapore is escaping this increase at all. They will increase it because for the past like few years, they do this thing that they call price harmonization, where if they increase it in one place, they increase it everywhere together. Louis Vuitton do it as well, Big H do it as well. It doesn't make sense to increase it in one place and not increase it in another. So I think that's what's going to happen. But of course, you can count on me. I will cover it. If they do increase it, I'll probably do another video without boring you guys to tears, because I had to post so many like Big C updates today just because so much was happening. I hope people in the group are not mad at me because I had to post so much Chanel stuff, but I have a lot of other stuff to post as well. So yeah, I would love to know what you think of those price increase tidbits, and what do you guys think? Like, how do you guys feel about the increase and stuff? You know, it is what it is. The increase isn't as bad as I thought. I love the Chanel 19, the Maxi being 6,250. I love the Maxi at the moment. I'm absolutely loving the Maxi. So let me just double check again how much the large was. I'm loving all of the sizes, to be honest with you. I love all of them. The large is now 5,700. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's as bad as I thought it was. It's just an extra 300 euros. So it's not a massive increase. It's not going to turn me off Chanel, basically, because it's not like a huge increase, but it's still an increase nonetheless, okay? So also, like, what was going on in the UK? Oh my gosh, let's talk about the UK for a minute, because the UK, those pounds, honey, those pounds sterling, they did go up, honey. The heart bag in the UK is £4,080. Okay, I saw that on the British site today. I almost fell off my chair. It's £4,080. I think, and I believe that is actually the large heart bag. I think that they've priced the that bag like more than the mini with the top handle, which is really interesting to me because it's clearly a novelty piece. I'm wondering whether Chanel are like annoyed that the heart bag has kind of stolen the thunder of the 22. Remember how I said the 22 was like trying to ride off the coattails of the 19? Because the 19, you know, has had a rough start. People were like, oh, we don't know if this bag's gonna stick around, they'll discontinue it. Now the 19's here, honey. She's that chick, she's that girl, you get me, like, she's cool, you know? And now they're trying to launch the 22 on the kind of on the coattails of the 19. But I feel like the heart kind of stole the momentum that the 22 had. Does anyone else feel like that? Because everyone is just talking about the heart. In groups, that's all we talk about. And lots of Facebook pages, lots of Instagram pages, forums, like everyone's talking about the Chanel heart. So no one's really talking about the 22. If you are getting the 22, please talk about her. I'm more than happy to listen to you. I would love to know what you guys think. I've told you guys before, I didn't like the heart bag when I previewed it. I still don't like the bag, okay, but I have to respect that she is kicking my behind at the moment, honey, okay, because the Chanel heart bag's looking at me like, oh, please. You didn't like the way I looked like this, but guess what? I'm that chick right now. And I'm like, look, I don't care. I still don't like you, but I have to talk about you because everyone likes you, okay? So this was the Chanel price increase from March 2022. As always, you know that you can count on me. I would love if you would consider joining my Facebook group. It's linked below. I know you won't regret it. And I would also love if you go read my blog below with all of the prices that have made it in the increase. I worked really hard on that blog article, collecting all of those currencies, with the exception of the Australian ones that I found from Vivian Vogue's post, but I worked really, really hard on that blog post, so please go check it out, go support it, it's linked below. I'd love to know you guys' opinions about what's popping. Listen, Big C's gonna do what she's gonna do, girl. She's gonna be whatever she wants to be, and we're just here watching. But I have to say, there are some gorgeous, beautiful bags. The pink, honey, 22S pinks. Ooh, wait, they look good. There's this really beautiful pink. I believe this is the pink Big C calls dark pink. So it's, I think the color code is NH622. This also comes in a trendy. This is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I love the way Chanel does pink. It's so feminine and girly and flirtatious and fun and glamorous. I just love it. I love this. I think it's really, really nice. I also want to know, what do you guys think of this waist bag? So this is a waist bag, like a belt bag. I still feel like it could be crossbodied. I love the chain. I think this is so feminine and so chic. Absolutely love this. I also love this. I love the way the top handle says Chanel like that. Although I'm wondering, will it be uncomfortable to hold? I'm just super curious what you guys think. So what do you guys think about the Chanel collection? And what do you think of 22S? So just a quick reminder, it launched today on the 3rd of March in Paris and in France, broadly speaking. But the US launch is the 10th of March, the Canadian launch is the 14th of March, and it will launch in Denmark on the 15th of March, and it will launch in the United Arab Emirates on the 18th of March. So yeah, you know what time it is. It's spring, it's fresh, it's fun. I'm loving it in my Michael Jackson voice. Okay, I'm loving it. Okay, so yeah, I really hope that you guys have enjoyed today's video. I'd love to know what you think. I'm sorry for those of you who are members of the group and follow me on Instagram. I'm sorry I have posted so much about Big C, but it's because when they have a new launch and they have a price increase, there's just so much going on. But I have lots of other things to post, like Gucci, Moschino, Alaya, Ferragamo. I have lots of other things I wanted to talk to you guys about, so I'll be doing that in my future videos. And yeah, I'll just love to know what you guys think of today's video. Please consider fully subscribing, liking this video, joining the Facebook group, follow my luxury Instagram. That's where it's at, honey. Go follow me there. And I'm going to be working on my TikTok, because my TikTok needs work, but I'm going to be working on it. It was such a crazy day today. I had so many meetings, I had so much work to do, but I still had to come here, film this video, get my blog post ready, okay, because we need to talk about Chanel. I'd love to know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. God bless, and I'll see you very soon in my next video.